Moonta Mines is a locality at the northern end of the York Peninsula, adjoining the town of Moonta. It is located in the Copper Coast Council. From 1861 to 1923, it was the centre of a copper mining industry that formed colonial South Australia's largest mining enterprise. A substantial portion of the locality is listed on the South Australian Heritage Register as the Moonta Mines State Heritage Area and on the National Heritage List as the Australian Cornish Mining Heritage Site, Moonta Mines. The Wallaroo Powder Magazine was built in 1867 for the storage of explosives for the Wallaroo and Moonta Mines. This is the remains of Moonta Mines Explosives Magazine near the former State Moonta Mines School. Gunpowder was initially used in hand-drilled holes in hard rock. A storekeeper was present early each morning and no one wearing boots was allowed to enter the magazine, as a spark from a boot nail could cause an explosion. Nitroglycerin was introduced in the 1870s and later dynamite was used in machine-drilled holes. In 1875 the mine began to manufacture its own patented safety fuse using machinery from England. They could make up to 5,000 feet of fuse a day if needed. Many miners resisted the introduction of the newer explosives, even though they were safer and more efficient. This was partly a resistance to change, but also because they gave off fumes that caused some miners very bad headaches. In 1878, 3 men were killed and 2 injured because the miner who set off the explosives did not fully comply with safety regulations, partly because he wanted to avoid a headache. He was tried, found guilty of manslaughter and sentenced to 2 years in prison. This is Captain Hancock's house in 1916. It is in ruins now. There is a large garden surrounding the house. The lower story was built prior to the appointment of Captain H.R. Hancock in 1864. The upper story was added about 10 years afterwards. Enclosure contained patch of original scrub. Here we have the mine office at Moonta Mines about 1910. The mines were the centre of a copper mining industry that formed the colonial South Australia's largest mining enterprise. There isn't much left of the office. This next photo is what it looks like now. Richmond's concentrating plant was one of 3 at the Moonta mine, the others being Hancock's and Ryan's. It operated from 1869 until the mine closed in 1923, crushing and concentrating ore from nearby shafts. During this period many alterations were made to the plant to suit the improved technology of mining and processing. Waste from the plant was dumped on the large tailings heap behind the engine house. Richmond's engine house was constructed between 1867 and 1869 using stone from Moonta Beach. Designed by engineer Frederick May and built under his supervision, the engine house featured a concealed roof surrounded by a parapet. It housed a 32-inch Cornish beam engine. The engine was taken out of service in 1917 and the engine house and surrounding buildings were salvaged in 1925. Surrounding the engine house are other ruins including foundations and bases of crushers, jiggers, buttles, elevators, air compressors, and boiler houses. A buttle is an apparatus such as an inclined trough or platform on which crushed ore is concentrated by running water which washes out the lighter and less valuable portions. There is a walk that can be completed around the area. This walk provides access to Richmond's engine house and lookouts on the tailings heap. Signs interpret the remaining structures. I have very little information about Taylor's shaft, but I do have 3 photos taken at different times. The first one was in 1880. (1889). And 1911. Hughes engine house played a crucial role in the operations of the Moonta mine. Its primary function was to dewater the underground workings on the mine's largest ore bodies, known as Elders and Elders West lodes. These ore bodies were worked over a length of 1,000 meters and to depths of more than 700 meters. The engine house was constructed alongside Hughes shaft by John Beaglehole between late 1863 and early 1865. It was named after Walter Watson Hughes, the founder of the Moonta Mining Company. The building housed a 60-inch Cornish beam pumping engine installed under the direction of engineer Frederick May 12. The engine and its installation cost £7,000, the equivalent to $1 to $2 million by today's standards. The engine operated pumps in Hughes and Taylor's shafts, which allowed mining of the main ore body below the natural water level. It worked continuously, except for maintenance, for more than 58 years until the closure of the mine in 1923. The machinery was scrapped and the buildings were salvaged when the Wallaroo and Moonta Mining and Smelting Co. liquidated in 1925. The machine shops at the mines employed 300 hands at peak period. By 1875, Moonta was the second largest town in South Australia and the largest copper region in the British Empire. Moonta Mines area had a population of 5,000 residents. This photo was taken in 1844. The mechanical workshops at the Moonta Mines were reputed to be the largest in the Southern Hemisphere. These workshops were crucial for the repair and manufacturing of mining equipment. This photo is of the staff outside the workshop in about 1890.